Hello there, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I am live coming to you today for your mini training of the week. And I would like to talk to you about becoming a standout Pilates teacher. I know many of you have raised questions and comments about how do I do this and how do I do that, and a lot of different things come about in your Pilates teaching career through experience, through trial and error. And I just want to first of all say that being a Pilates instructor is a really wickedly cool job. I mean, we get to help people. We get to help people feel better in their bodies. We get to help people create a difference in their lives, really. And what we do is really impactful. What you do is really impactful for your clients' lives, for their livelihood, how they move in their body, how they feel about themselves. All of that is pretty incredible. And we get to wear pretty comfy clothes too. So, what a bonus for our work job, right? All kidding aside, sometimes being a Pilates teacher, sometimes what we learned in teacher training, let me put it that way, doesn't always feel like enough. And if that's where you're feeling right now, I just want to let you know that Pilates teacher training, as expansive as it is, and I've taught plenty in my years as a master educator, it's really the baseline and foundation. It's the foundation of where you can launch and go in your career moving forward, and it gives you a really solid base. And if you teach everything you learn in teacher training, if you teach at that level, your clients still get amazing results from the Pilates system, right? But sometimes there are clients with specific needs that are maybe outside of your scope of practice. Other things that sometimes doesn't quite feel like enough is sometimes we don't feel like compassion for our clients is enough, right? Like we care, but do they care? Sometimes we question, how much do they care? How much do they want to learn and do on their own outside of this Pilates work, right? And also, sometimes communicating with clients can be really tough, especially those clients who don't listen, or they jump ahead in the programming, or they think they know what you're going to say, so then they just go ahead and do that. Sometimes also clients don't quite get it or understand what you're trying to communicate. So communicating with clients can sometimes be really challenging as well. And so I just want to share with you that teaching movement is really like a mixture of knowing your exercise knowledge and being able to convey that to the clients, as well as communication skills. Now, what we learn in our teacher training is all about the fundamentals, right? We learn about exercises, contraindications, and purpose. When you're really lucky, you learn a few things even more than that, which is absolutely fantastic. And so teaching movement is really this mixture of this body knowledge and exercise knowledge along with communication skills. Now, where do we learn communication skills? This is often something, if you didn't go to school for this specifically, it's something that you just learned through life, right? And so everyone has a little bit different level of communication skills. And so what I would like to talk to you today about becoming a truly standout Pilates teacher is about increasing your communication skills. So I'm going to share with you 3 keys that will really help you move towards the path of becoming a great standout teacher that's going to differentiate you from those either within the same studio or within the same town. It's going to differentiate you from other instructors because everybody knows the foundation, right? Everybody knows all of the same exercises. So what can we do to truly stand out as a Pilates instructor? So here are my 3 keys for you today. First is you need to really work on your skills of understanding. And these are all going to sound very simple, but here's the deal. When we can take the time to understand clients at a deeper level than even what they're communicating to us through their words, That is going to help you become a standout teacher. So you want to look at body language. Does it match what they're telling you? What are they presenting in their body? Can you understand why it might be happening that way? Was there a trauma? Was there an event? Was there something that happened in their body that is holding this pattern, right? That's just one example. So really digging deep in your understanding of your clients, paying attention to more than what their words are telling you, is really going to help you become a standout teacher. Because when you can understand those things about their body that they didn't have to tell you, they're going to think you're pretty magical, and they're going to say, how did you know that? And if you've ever had a client say that to you, then you are already on your path to being a good standout teacher that is really understanding of their clients, because digging underneath the surface is always a little bit more challenging. So that's key number one, be understanding. Key number two is to be an active listener. So what I mean by that is sometimes clients' words and body language doesn't always match, like I talked about, with your understanding. But also, by paying attention to their words and their body language together, you kind of get a bigger picture. So I'll share, for example, I had a client many years ago who was very nervous when she talked. A little high-pitched, very fast, always running words and sentences together, and she just had this little bit of nervous energy about her, right? But what I did is I worked on my skills of understanding and being an active listener. I listened to what she had to share with me, and she would always tell me stories about what she was doing, where she was going, and there's a story that she shared with me about how her husband wanted to go scuba diving with her, and she had never been scuba diving before. And so she had to take scuba diving lessons. And as she's telling me this story, I'm really listening to what she has to tell me about her experience going through this scuba diving school. She was very nervous, very anxious. Her breathing was really shallow, which was a problem, of course, with scuba diving. So I'm taking all of this into account, and I'm matching what she's telling me about this totally separate story in her opinion. And I'm watching her movement in the studio. And putting those two things together tells me she's a fearful mover. She has anxiety in her brain and body. And what can we do in the studio to help calm that down? So that's just one example of a past student that I had. By being an active listener and listening to what they tell you with their words, along with what you see in their body, you can start to put some puzzle pieces together that maybe the client didn't even see themselves. So that is key number two for becoming or being a standout Pilates teacher. Now, key number three for you today is to say less rather than more. And this is one that is so hard for us Pilates teachers to actually put into action, because there's so much that we need to say to convey movement to our clients, right? We have to tell them the starting position, the sequence, the setup, the safety. We have to talk about all of those things. And then we have to get them moving. And then we want to add in extra information that gives them more depth to their movement and provides such an awesome experience. So there's like a plethora of words that's just like really trying to come out of our mouth all at once. So the balance is to say just as much as you need to say to get them moving and moving efficiently, and then to stop. And the reason why I encourage you to say less rather than more is because in those moments where you're not talking, I don't want you to feel like you have to fill up the air with sound, because it's those moments when it's silent and quiet that your client really has time to absorb what you're saying. They have time to listen to their body. And that is where they're going to make truly profound changes. When they understand what they need to do to change their body, then they're just launching, right? they're going to be taking off into a whole new realm of body movement because they connected brain and body together. And that is the beauty of this movement, right? That we teach. Pilates is so beautiful for the brain-body connection. So your 3 keys to being a standout Pilates teacher. Number 1 is you need understanding. And what I mean is understanding at a deeper level, see beneath the surface. Number 2 is to be an active listener. Listen to what they have to say and then be responsive, either responsive in your words or responsive in the exercise choices that you give to them, right? Their body language and their words will tell you so much of what they need. And then key number 3 is to say less rather than more. Give your clients space to breathe, space to think, space to move, and space to figure things out a little bit on their own. So that way they can truly embrace this movement experience for themselves. So that's what I have for you today, the 3 keys for becoming a standout Pilates teacher. So I'm going to ask you, before you finish this video today, to think about other communication skills that you found to be helpful in creating strong connections with your clients. And let's have a discussion in the thread here. So pop a comment below and let everybody know, me included, everyone else in this awesome group, what have you found as a communication skill to be truly valuable in connecting with your clients that has increased loyalty, increased trust, and increased retention? So leave that comment below, and I really look forward to hearing what you guys have to say too, because the more that we can learn from each other and share with each other, the more that we can lift each other up. And the more that we learn and share from each other, we're really like sprinkling the Pilates goodness even farther out into the world. So we're sharing our knowledge even more with more people and raising the vibration of this earth. So thank you guys so much for joining me live today. Leave those comments below and let's just have this conversation together. And I will see you back again next week. All right, everybody. Bye for now.